The sports talk, where all opinions are heard, but not always accepted. For the fans who live and die by their teams. For the fans who stay up for those extra innings. The city where going to work isn't just another phrase. Where we live and die by the next swing of the bat. Diehard fans hate us and love us. But feelings have never been held back. You are listening to Detroit Sports Talk with Brett and JT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another DST podcast with Brett and JT. My name is JT Smellick, and I'm going to be taking you around the sports world today. We're actually steering clear of most Detroit-related content. We're going to be discussing Andre Drummond's play. It shows proof that the Pistons are a completely different team from last year. Even if they do struggle and lose games, it is a totally different team. The benching of Tyrod Taylor. We're going to be doing my 5 hot, 5 not NFL teams today. And then we'll finish off the day by discussing Dak's game against the Falcons. You know, it was a pretty big game, and a lot of, they didn't play great, but I think that there was more to that game that says more about how good Dak Prescott is than anything else. All right, let's dive right into a DST with Brett and JT coming right at you. All right, so the Buffalo Bills bench Tyrod Taylor. Now, in my own opinion, I don't think he should have been benched. Why he shouldn't have been benched? Let me give you some numbers right now that explain why he shouldn't be benched. He's completing 64% of his passes. He has 10 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Now, he's being benched for Nathan Peterman. He was drafted in the 5th round. He played at Tennessee and Pittsburgh. And so they're benching him to go with Peterman instead of Taylor. And this is something I honestly didn't see coming out of anywhere. Because the Saints shelled that Buffalo Bills defense. The Buffalo Bills have no defense. Their best player on offense is Marshawn McCoy and Calvin Benjamin. And may I remind you, Calvin Benjamin just got to this team 2 weeks ago in a trade with the Carolina Panthers. So why would you bench Tyrod Taylor when he's giving you your best chance to win? I get you want to see Nathan Peterman, but your season isn't over yet. You know, Tyrod Taylor flat out won the job. And I get they drafted Peterman to maybe play quarterback for this team at some point, but you gotta go. I read a Bleacher Report article that said that the Buffalo Bills committed the cardinal sin of benching the hot hand, and I agree. The Minnesota Vikings could be benching Case Keenum right now and putting back in Teddy Bridgewater. But Case Keenum's the hot hand, and I get there's a difference in winning and losing, but if these numbers don't lie, I get Tyrod Taylor isn't a great quarterback. Let me make this straight for you guys. He's not a great quarterback, all right? But Nathan Peterman isn't going to change anything, and I get he had a small, sample size against the Saints where he did pretty well, but that's garbage time in my opinion. The Saints are rolling, all right? So Tyrod Taylor should be your quarterback moving forward, and I'm confused on if he hasn't done anything to lose the job. I get he's not the most talented quarterback, but again, these numbers aren't bad. 64% completion, 10 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and only 3 picks. And that's with only LaShawn McCoy, no offensive line to speak of. He gets killed out there, and Calvin Benjamin, who just got here. So I don't know. It'll definitely be interesting seeing Nathan Peterman as he progresses in the NFL and see what he becomes. But if I'm the Bills, I feel like I made a pretty big mistake just now. But up next, we're gonna dive into Andre Drummond's play. Keep it right here, DST with Brett and JT. All right, DST with Brett and JT. Now, as you just probably heard, we got some Pistons audio from how great Andre Drummond has been lately. He has just been a difference maker on this team, and I love love, love, love seeing this out of him. My roommates texted me the other day, all right? And he told me, he was like, so you really like this Pistons team, the same one that you bagged on last year? And I was like, well, yeah, because the main things I bagged on are being addressed. Andre Drummond is hustling. There was a play against the Bucks, all right? They lost to the Bucks, but they fought their asses off to come back in this game. And they played against the Bucks. Andre Drummond dives on the floor for a rebound, and he snags it. Pistons call a timeout, Pistons ball. I've always wanted to see Andre Drummond make a play like that, where he wants that rebound on that floor more than anyone else, and he's not going to let anyone stop him. Seeing that out of Andre Drummond is honestly one of the most exciting things I've seen from this Pistons team this year. You know, he's gotten better at free throw shooting. He looks just more comfortable on the floor all around. Him and Reggie look great together. And then, a lot of Pistons fans, you guys need to realize something right now, all right? They're going to lose a lot of games coming up. They have a very tough schedule, all right? They play Minnesota next, OKC, the Cavs, the Celtics. Like, those are all, two of those teams are possible final. I think they play the Warriors again, too. So you have the Warriors who've won 2 of the last 3 championships. Cavs, who have been to 3 straight. So, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised when they lose a lot of games. So, Pistons fans, please, I beg you, stay the course with this team. They're a good team. You've seen it. Their bench is very skilled. They have a very good defender in Stanley Johnson, Avery Bradley. Trust me. Stick with this team. We're going to be watching them come postseason. Don't know for how long, all depends on the matchup, but let me tell you, 4th seed is still in our reach, my friends. That is what I've predicted, and that's what I'll be sticking with. All right, coming up next, we are going to be doing the hot or not takes. Basically, what it is I take 5 teams in the NFL that I think are hot right now. It's a feel-good meter, so 5 teams where fan bases should be feeling good, and 5 teams where fan bases should be a little worried. Hot teams first. Number 5, Detroit Lions. Now this one, I'm guessing no one expects me to put the Lions on the hot list anytime soon, but let me explain this to you. Alright? You got to win over the Browns. A decent win. Alright? But everyone's overreacting about the loss. I thought it was a decent win. It's very important because the next games you play, you control your destiny at this point. If you win out, like you probably should, then you should win the division. I highly doubt the Vikings are going to win out. The Vikings are possibly an overrated team or possibly a Super Bowl contender. They're a very talented team, but they haven't played anyone yet. So these next few games are definitely going to show just how good that team is and where we should be rating them in the hierarchy of NFL teams. Not to mention, though, they're going to be getting a lot of players back soon. They just got Taylor Decker back, their left tackle. They just got Galladay back. So definitely, Lions are going to have a few more pieces moving forward. You got to get Ansah healthy and stuff, but, I think they can make the playoffs. I'm not sure. If the Lions are what they believe to be, they should make the playoffs no problem by winning out because they have an easy schedule. Number 4, Falcons. Alright, let me explain this to you. Falcons were a struggling team coming off a Super Bowl hangover. Yes, they lost Devontae Freeman, but they got a huge, much-needed win that might give them the momentum they need to start turning their season around, alright? They destroy the Cowboys. Claiborne, he tied the amount of sacks ever in a game, alright? If that doesn't fire that team up and try to propel them, forward to win a few more games here, I know that their offense isn't ever going to be the same now that Shanahan's gone, but it's definitely showing it's definitely showing some signs of life. And Falcons fans, you needed that win. So enjoy it. Get ready for next week. Number 3, Philadelphia Eagles. Zeke's gone. Dallas's schedule is tough. They play Dallas 2 times. Philly, if you're a Philadelphia fan, you do realize that you've got this division wrapped up if you win this week. It's over. And I expect you to win this week because, again, they don't have Ezekiel Elliott. They don't have Sean Lee. They don't have a left tackle. All right? They have terrible coaching. So, be worried about an upset from the Cowboys. But if you can get past that possible upset, then you guys are home free. You're going to be hosting a playoff game. You have a chance to go to the Super Bowl with a very talented team and a quarterback who's on a sophomore setting pace of going to a Super Bowl, which is going to be amazing to see if that happens. Number 3 was Philadelphia. Number 2, the New Orleans Saints. 7 straight wins. The new deadly run game. It looks amazing. Ingram is a beast all of a sudden. This team looks like a completely different team. It's always been Drew Brees and everyone else. Now it's Drew Brees and Ingram. You're going to have a talented duo now. It kills fantasy owners because I have Drew Brees. But you know what? All around, this Saints team looks better than ever. And yeah, they haven't played too many good teams. But 7 straight in the NFL, that's no laughing matter. The New Orleans Saints. And my number 1 team for this week, the LA Rams. Big win this week. If you beat anyone in the NFL 33-7, I don't care who it is, Texans or what, that's a statement game, all right? In your division, Richard Sherman goes down. Cam Chancellor just went down as I'm filming this podcast. I'm literally staring at the update right now. Destiny is in your hands, Rams. It's playoff time. Say bye to the Seahawks, alright? This is your time. You control this division. You guys, no excuses. You win out. You win most of your games. You get your chance to have a playoff game. You guys deserve it. Here's to a great season and one of the best turnarounds in NFL history. Number 1, the LA Rams. Up next is my 5 not hot teams. These are teams where fan bases should be worried. Number 5, the Miami Dolphins. You just got trashed against the Panthers. You're stuck with Jay Cutler, who I'm confused on why he even came for a year. But either way, you feel like Tannehill's a thing of the past. You feel like this team has completely just forgotten itself, and it's a mess down there. You have coaches doing drugs and sending videos. That's embarrassing. As a fan base, I would be just outraged about this Dolphins team. Enjoy another 5 years of mediocrity, Dolphins fans. Number 4, New York Giants. Oh, the Giants. What a year it's been for that fan base. Went to the playoffs last year. Expected to have one of the hottest teams in football. And you lost to the winless 49ers with a no-name rookie QB. That's embarrassing. Giants fans, how do you feel right now? Eli Manning looks like he's done. All your players are injured. That's gotta suck. Nothing fun to watch this year. But you lost to the 49ers. I actually think you're the worst team in football besides the Browns this year. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Alright, so I had to do an audible real quick and change my number 3 and my number 2 picks due to a recent update. But basically, Bills fans, I would be worried about what you're doing moving forward with a quarterback and your defense because both look atrocious. You need to have some stability at quarterback. That's why Tyrod Taylor shouldn't have left. Nathan Peterman is the only chance you have now of turning this season around if he can completely change the dynamic of this team, which I highly doubt. Your best players are McCoy and Benjamin, and that's not saying a whole lot. Number 2 has to be the Seattle Seahawks. I believed you'd be going to the playoffs this year. Now, Cam Chancellor's down, and Richard Sherman. What a terrible, terrible year it has to be. I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. It's over. You know it's over now. Any chance you had of Russell Wilson carrying you, it's too much to overcome at this point. But not as much as it is to overcome for this number 1 team. Cowboys. My Cowboys. My sweet, sweet Cowboys. Oh, what has God done to you? Ezekiel Elliott is gone. You have an insanely tough schedule moving forward. You play the Eagles twice. You have a struggling O-line that allows Dak to get killed by the Falcons' D-line. And I mean killed. Dak had no chance of winning that game for you because Dak didn't have more than 3 seconds. He had to roll right every single play. Roll right, roll right, roll right. Try saying that 5 times fast. But no, for real. The Eagles own this division. You have to try to get a wild card, and you have to try to salvage 1 game against them, which is going to be near impossible with how good that team is playing. Your O-line looks like a joke. You abandoned the run game. Dak Prescott was your leading rusher. And in fact, you know what? That's it. That's the 5-not teams. Let's dive right into Dak's game against the Falcons. Sean Lee leaves in the first quarter, I think. That is a huge blow. He is key to stopping the run game. That guy plays his ass off every down. Left tackle's out. Terrible coaching adjustments. No one helped their left tackle when Claiborne kept sacking Dak. Dak had to roll out every time. They basically told Dak, I'm sorry, Dak, we can't help you. Zeke's out. Dak's given no help. And he still played well. He played within himself. He didn't make dumb mistakes. He even made some impressive passes. He got some yards in running, and he rushed for the only touchdown the team scored. But Dak, I'm going to give you all the credit that game. You busted your ass on a team that gave up on you and a coaching staff that gave you nothing. But let me tell you something right now, Dak Prescott. You need to play even better if you're going to win. All right? If you're the player I believe you are, step up right now for me. Let me see you take control of this team against Philly. Let me see you take control of this season. Do it for the Cowboy Nation, and do it for who is your biggest fan and has defended you since before you were ever even in the league. I remember when you were doing training camp in the preseason and Romo went out and you were named starter. I said Dak Prescott is going to be the starter moving forward. This kid's got game. You took Tony Romo's job, and now you're going to show the world why it is your job and no one else's. Dak Prescott, let's see it, baby. And that concludes another podcast of DST. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this. This was definitely an intense one to make. I had a lot to go through, a lot of stuff we were breaking down, but I love doing it, and I will be seeing you guys next week. I will have this podcast uploaded Sunday. Keep it right here, baby. DST, Brett and JT. I hope you guys had a good one.